Hey guys, it's that time again. Happy ho 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 Christmas. And this is the day after Thanksgiving, at least this day of recording. This might not be on YouTube till another 1 or 2 days after Thanksgiving. But anyways guys, happy holidays. So, what I want to talk about today is, this is my next movie review. And this day I'm going to interview Elf. That's right guys, Elf. And what I would want to say about this movie, my overall rating first of all, is I rate it, yes, one of my favorite holiday films, so I have to give it a 4 out of 4 stars. It's very funny, very adventurous, and pretty heart-filling and warming too. So, by the way, you notice the hat? It's because it's the holidays. So, I like wearing this every time I want to do like a review or talk about a holiday film. This is my first holiday film review for my channel, so I hope you guys will enjoy this one. And before we start with the details, first of all, go to the bottom into the description. You will find the link to Scottplier PopcultFan's channel and see what's up with him and his footage. He's got like 1 or 2 new ones, I believe, that have been going on the past 1 or 2 days, so check those out. And now back to business. So, first of all, the actors. I have to say, who played Buddy the Elf, the main character, Will Ferrell. He's really funny. And I also liked him from Step Brothers. And he's in, he was probably in an old film that was called Daddy Christmas or something like that. And then he's coming back to do a second sequel on that that's coming in theaters very soon. It's another Christmas film. And then, so that's Will Ferrell for a little while. And James Caan, who played Buddy the Elf's real father, that's in New York, and who's a businessman. A businessman who does authoring for children's books in the Empire State Building in New York City, where Buddy the Elf had to travel from the North Pole by foot all the way there to find his father. And James Caan, who did his father, was also from the 1966 film El Dorado with John Wayne. Yeah, he played Mississippi, or his real name, or his real character name, Alan Bedillion Traherne. That's why they called him Mississippi, because it's obviously easy. So guys, that is the other film that I knew James Caan was from. I knew he was from El Dorado, obviously when he was much younger and very good looking. He still is acting today, I believe so. I just haven't heard about what new movies he's been in. But I heard he's still actively acting. And so that was James Caan. We did Will Ferrell, we did James Caan. Oh, and who did Buddy's love character in this film, who, Jovi is the name of the character, played by Zooey Deschanel. And she also has a sister, also last name Deschanel. I forgot what her first name was, but she was also on the series Bones. So yeah, if you kind of look at them very closely, you would find right here that they are very similar. Because they're sisters, same last name. And that's Zooey Deschanel. And then next of all, there's, oh, that funny little dude, who's, he's a little man, and he plays, you can say, a very successful children's author, who came out into New York City, his character in the story. He came out into New York City to help James Caan's character, Walter Hobbs, and his team help with the children's book thing, and yeah, that's when things got pretty funny, because he's pretty funny as well. And if he's also on the series Game of Thrones, and he was from X-Men Days of Future Past, who played as one of the little guys in the organization that created the tracker device to scan on anybody who does, to see if that person is either human or mutant. So that is that actor. Unfortunately, I don't know his name at the top of my head right now. But yes, he was in Elf. He was in the Game of Thrones series, which is still going on today. And he was from X-Men Days of Future Past. And he was in lots of other films too that I think I might have seen with him in. I just can't name them right now. And so that takes care of him. And also, the man who played Papa Elf, which is Buddy the Elf's adopted father, and Elf at the North Pole, who wears the glasses. I forget what his actor name is, but my grandma has seen him in one or two other films or series also that have been playing on British TV, and some mystery shows, I believe. So guys, that's about that actor. And another great one, I have to say, was Mary Steenburgen. And according to IMDb, it says that she played Emily, Walter Hobbs' son, in the film. And she was also, guys, if you notice, she played Clara in Back to the Future Part 3. So that was another film that I knew she was from. And so I finally found out who the name of that actor is who did Miles Finch. I should have remembered this guy, so I apologize. His name is Peter Dinklage. So, yes, he was the one from Game of Thrones that's still going on today. And he was one of the mutant tracker designers from X-Men Days of Future Past. And I have to say, those are what I like to say about the actors and actresses for now. Or I should say, that's all I want to talk about the actors and actresses for this video. So now, on to my funny favorite scenes. I would have to say would be, one, my favorite quote I have to say is when Buddy keeps on flipping the page, reading that book when he was sitting in the corner in his father's office when he was doing his work. Buddy was reading, and out loud he was saying, Francisco, Francisco, Francisco. So over and over, like 3 or 4 or 5 times he said it out loud. Walter Hobbs then said, Buddy. And Buddy's like, am I too loud? And then he says, just a little bit. And he's like, sorry. And then he raises his hand. I'm like, he feels like a student in a classroom. Like he was back at the North Pole in elf school. Oh, those must have been good times for him when he was younger as Buddy the Elf. And I have to say my other would be, you're feeling strong, my friend? Call me Elf one more time. And then that was a Miles Finch quote. Also Peter Dinklage. And then Will Ferrell, Buddy the Elf, replied saying, he's an angry elf. And at the end of the fight that they had in the office, actually, the little guy, Peter Dinklage, he actually won that and repeated, call me Elf one more time. Call me Elf. And then he says, you're an elf. And then he just throws him, and then the pitcher gets knocked over him. And he just leaves like that. And he goes, and then Buddy goes, he must be a South Pole elf. I'm like, there are no elves on the South Pole. That's pretty ridiculously funny and non-true. So anyways, those are my funny favorite quotes. And I have to say my most tender favorite moment in the movie that really warmed up my heart was when, I have to say, Buddy and his family were all together on Christmas Day, and then Buddy was opening up his present, and there was a big thing of maple syrup, because Buddy loves sugar, because as an elf, he says, we elves try to stick to the 4 main food groups, candy, candy canes, candy corns, and syrup. And I mean syrup, well, yeah, because it is a type of sugar and it's sweet. So anyway, I liked that scene at the end when he was opening up his present and then he was hugging his family around him. Because, I mean, who doesn't love opening their presents with all of their family on Christmas Day and then saying all thank you and then showing that you love one another? It was just wonderful. So I think that is all for this video. And if you have not seen the Christmas movie Elf, starring Will Ferrell, James Caan, and all those other actors, I highly recommend you see it during this holiday season. So, without further ado, press that like button, comment on what your favorite part of the movie was if you've seen it, and if you haven't, comment on what I should do next for my next movie review. And say, am I doing a good job or not? So, also subscribe. If you haven't, subscribe. For upcoming new holiday movie reviews for this holiday season, and for future footage on my channel. So, happy holidays, guys. Cash Vaz out.